Today we will begin chapter 10 circles. Circle is a plane figure. Circle is a plane figure. The definition of circle: set of all points in a plane which are equidistant from a fixed point. Set of all points in a plane. Set of all points in a plane which are equidistant, equal distance from a fixed point. Suppose this is a fixed point. And let it be O. O is a fixed point. And a set of all points in this plane which are equal distance from that point. That is a circle. The collection of that points. So we can take a point 5 centimeter away from this one. Suppose 5 centimeter away. Here we have one point. 5 centimeter away another point. 5 centimeter away. 5 centimeter away from here. 5 centimeter away. 5 centimeter away, then again, and here 5 centimeter, and here 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. So in between another point. So these all points are 5 centimeter away from that fixed point. So these all points are 5 centimeter away from this fixed point. So the collection of this point, the set of these points, that is a circle. So this is circle. So here these all points are equal distance from this fixed point. So this is circle. So circle means only this boundary. So only this boundary, and this point is called center of the circle. That fixed point is called center of the circle. Center of the circle is not part of the circle. So this is a circle. Circle means set of these all points. So only this boundary is called circle. So when we take any point from inside the circle, that is interior point, that point is not part of the circle. And if you take one point here outside the circle, that is called exterior point, that is not a part of the circle. And the center is not part of the circle. So we can say a circle can divide a plane into three parts: set of all points inside the circle, set of all points on the circle, and a set of all points outside the circle. A circle can divide a plane into three parts: set of all points inside the circle, points on the circle, points outside the circle. So circular region, that is the interior points along with the boundary, that is called circular region. So circular, when we take 1 rupee coin, so that is a circular region. So this is circular region, set of all points inside the circle and the points on the circle together, circular region. And when we take the boundary, when we take only that boundary, so that is circle. Boundary of a 1 rupee coin, that is a circle. So circle means only this curve. So now we will learn different parts of the circle. Then this is circle, and here the line segment joining any two points of the circle. So that is AB. The line segment joining any 2 points of a circle. That is called chord of the circle. Chord of the circle. Chord of the circle. Chord of the circle. So here A and B are 2 points on the circle, and AB is the line segment joining A and B. So AB is chord of the circle. Then the chord passing through the center, that is the longest chord, it is called diameter of the circle. The chord of the circle passing through the center, that is called diameter of the circle. Then the line segment joining center and a point of the circle, that is called a radius. Center and point of the circle is called a radius, and 2 into radius, that is diameter. So diameter of a circle is 2 into radius. So you already learned in lower class, diameter of a circle is equal to 2 into radius of the circle. So chord of the circle, longest chord is diameter, and radius is half of diameter, or diameter is equal to 2 into radius. Then we will learn circular region with longest chord, then arc of a circle. The part of a circle. So the line segment, the part of a circle. So this is circle, and when we take one part of the circle, so this is part of the circle, so that is called the arc of the circle. So this is one arc, and similarly this is another arc. So the endpoints of a chord, or we can say that so this is one arc, and this is another arc. So part of the circle is called arc of the circle, and this arc is called minor arc, and this is called major arc, minor arc and major arc. Part of the circle or piece of a circle between 2 points of the circle, that is called arc of the circle, and this is called a minor arc, and this is called a major arc. Then if the endpoints of the arc are the endpoints of the diameter, then we get a semicircle. So this is circle, and this is the diameter, and here this is one arc and this is another arc, and the endpoints of that arc and the endpoints of the diameter both are same, so we can say that this is semicircle. So here this is also semicircle. Semicircle means this is semicircle, half of the circle. So this is semicircle, and here semicircle is arc of the circle, that is part of the circle, and when we divide a circle into 2 equal parts, we get a semicircle. So this is semicircle, and this is minor arc, and this is major arc. Then the region bounded by chord of the circle and the minor arc, so that region is called minor segment, and this is called a major segment. Region bounded by chord of the circle and arc of the circle. Region bounded by chord of the circle and arc of the circle. So this region is called segment of the circle. Segment is the region bounded by chord of the circle and arc of the circle. So this is one segment, and this segment is minor segment, and this one is major segment. So the region bounded by minor arc and chord of the circle, that is minor segment. Region bounded by major arc, and chord of the circle, that is called major segment. Then we have another term, that is sector of the circle. So region bounded by radii, 2 radii, OA and OB are the radii, and arc of the circle. So this is called sector of the circle. Region bounded by 2 radii and arc of the circle, that is sector, and this sector is called minor sector, and this sector is called major sector. So this is a region bounded by 2 radii and a major arc, so that region is called major sector, and this is the region bounded by 2 radii and minor arc, so this is called minor sector, and this is the region bounded by minor arc and chord of the circle, so minor segment. Region bounded by major arc and chord of the circle, major segment, and my major sector, region bounded by major arc and radii of the circle, so that is major sector, and this is minor sector, and this is semicircle, etc. Now we will learn. Now we will do exercise 10.1. Exercise 10.1. So here, question number 1. The center of a circle lies in dash of the circle. Question number 1. Center of the circle lies in dash of the circle, interior of the circle. So first one answer, interior of the circle, because center of the circle, this is circle, and the center is an interior point. Center is not a point on the circle. Center is not a part of the circle. So center is an interior point of the circle. Then a point whose distance from the center of the circle is greater than its radius lies in dash of the circle. Suppose we have one point and the distance from, let that point be P, then distance from the center to that point is greater than the radius of this circle. If distance from the center to that point is greater than the radius of the circle, then where is that point? That point will be an exterior point. A point whose distance from the center of a circle is greater than its radius lies in dash of the circle. Answer exterior. Exterior of the circle. So if that point comes here, then distance from the center will be less than the radius. If the distance from the center is less than the radius, then that point comes inside the circle. If the distance is greater than the radius, then outside the circle. Then question number 3. Question number 1, third part. The longest chord of a circle is dash of the circle. The longest chord of a circle is diameter of the circle. Diameter of the circle. Then fourth one, an arc is a dash when its end point, when its ends are the ends of a diameter. An arc is a dash when its ends, when its end point are the ends of a diameter. So when its ends are the ends of a diameter, then that arc is called semicircle. Semicircle. Then question number 5. Segment of a circle is the region between segment. So segment of a circle. So this is segment. Segment of a circle is the region between an arc and dash of the circle. Region between an arc and chord of the circle. So the answer, chord of the circle. So segment of the circle is the region between an arc and chord of the circle. A circle divides the plane on which it lies in dash parts, 3 parts. A circle divides the plane which lies into 3 parts. Points inside the circle, points on the circle, points outside the circle. So sixth one, 3 parts. 3 parts. Then second question, first part. Write true or false. Give reason for your answer. First one, line segment joining the center. Line segment joining the center to any point on the circle is radius of the circle. Line segment joining the center to any point on the circle is radius of the circle. That statement is true. Second one, a circle has only finite number of equal chords. So this is circle. A circle has only finite number of equal chords. Suppose this is a chord of length of 4 centimeter. Then we can make another chord here, length 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter here, here 4 centimeter. We can make another chord 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter, then 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter. So infinite number of chords can be made. So a circle has only finite number of equal chords. That statement is wrong. That is false because we can draw infinite number of chords of same length. Then third one, if a circle is divided into 3 equal arcs, each is a major arc. So that statement is wrong. This is circle. A circle is divided into 3 equal arcs. Suppose here a circle is divided into 3 equal arcs. 3 equal arcs. Suppose length of this arc and the length of this one and the length of this. These 3 lengths are equal, suppose. Then each is a major arc. So that is wrong. This is not a major arc. So this is a minor arc because major arc because these 3 arcs are minor arcs. Major arc is always greater than semicircle. So this is major arc. This is major arc. This is minor arc. but here these three are minor arcs, so the statement false. Third one, statement false. Then a chord of a circle which is twice as long as its radius is the diameter of the circle. A chord of a circle which is twice as long as its radius is diameter of the circle. Fourth one, statement true, diameter is double of radius. Then fifth one, sector is a region between the chord and its corresponding arc. Sector is the region between the chord and the corresponding arc. So region between the chord and corresponding arc. So this is called region. A sector is the region between the chord and its corresponding arc. Region between chord and a corresponding arc. So this is not the sector. This is segment. This is segment. So sector is this is sector. Region between two radii and a corresponding arc. So this statement is false. Sector is the region between two radii and a corresponding arc. Then a circle is a plane figure. Is statement true. Circle is a last one true. Circle is a plane figure. A circle is a plane figure. That statement is true. Now we will do angle subtended by a chord at a point. Angle subtended by a chord at a point. This is one circle. Then chord of the circle. Circle. Then suppose this is chord of the circle AB. Then this is the angle subtended by chord AB at a point on major arc. And this is the angle subtended by chord AB at a point on minor arc. Angle APB and angle AQB. Angle APB, this is the angle subtended by the chord at a point P on the major arc. And this is the angle subtended by chord AB at a point Q on minor arc. And suppose this is the center and this is the angle subtended by chord. Angle AOB. Angle AOB is the angle subtended by the chord AB at the center of the circle. So that is angle subtended by the chord. So AB is chord of the circle and AB subtends an angle at the center and that angle is angle AOB. And similarly AB subtend another angle at a point P on the major arc. So that is angle APB, or here this is another angle subtended by chord AB at this point P dash. And angle AQB, that is angle subtended by chord AB at a point Q on minor arc. Now we have to do one theorem. So that theorem is theorem 10.1. Theorem 10.1. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. So that is the statement of theorem. Equal chords of a circle. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. So proof of that theorem. So before that we will write given conditions. So here we have a circle and we have two equal chords. And suppose AB and suppose AB and PQ. AB and PQ are equal chords. Then we have to show that AB equal chord subtends equal angles at the center. So AB subtend one angle at the center, that is angle AOB, and PQ subtend another angle at the center, that is angle POQ. So we have to show that angle AOB and angle POQ are equal. So equal chords of a circle. Here AB and PQ are equal chords. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. So we have to prove AB and PQ subtend equal angles at the center. So the given condition, chords AB equal to PQ. So they are equal chords, that is given. Then to prove angle AOB, so that is angle subtended by chord AB at the center. Angle AOB equal to angle POQ. So we are going to prove angle AOB equal to angle POQ. So AOB and POQ are the angles subtended by AB and PQ at the center. So we have to prove they are equal. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. So we need to prove angle AOB equal to angle POQ. Then proof. So if we can prove that two triangles are congruent, then angle AOB and angle POQ are equal. So when we take the two triangles, in triangle AOB and triangle POQ, in triangle AOB and triangle POQ, AO equal to PO. AO and PO are equal. Reason, radii of the same circle. Radii of the same circle. Then we can write a BO is equal to BO equal to QO. BO and QO are equal. BO is equal to QO. Same reason, radii of the same circle. Then AB equal to PQ, that is given. Equal chords, they are given. They are equal. They are. Therefore, triangle AOB congruent to triangle POQ by SSS theorem. So these two triangles are congruent by SSS theorem. If they are congruent, angle AOB is equal to angle POQ. If they are congruent, angle AOB equal to angle POQ. Reason. So here SSS theorem and here CPCT. So now we got angle AOB and angle POQ are equal. So equal chord subtends equal angles at the center. Then we have the converse of that theorem. The statement we will learn. Theorem 10.2. Theorem 10.2. The proof is not required here. If the angles, the converse of this one, if the angles subtended by the chords of a circle are equal, then the chords are equal. So this theorem is, if the chords are equal, if AB equal to PQ, then angle AOB equal to angle POQ. That is theorem 10.1. AB equal to PQ implies angle AOB equal to angle POQ. So that is theorem 10.1. If chords are equal, then angles subtended by them at the center are equal. Then the converse of this theorem is, if angles subtended by two chords at the center of a circle are equal, then the chords are equal. So that means angle AOB equal to angle POQ implies AB equal to PQ. If angle AOB equal to angle POQ, then the chords are equal. So the statement that if the angle subtended by the chords, if the angles subtended by the chords, if the angles subtended by the chords of a circle at the center are equal, at the center are equal, then the chords are equal. Then the chords are equal. So we need to learn both the theorems. So the second theorem is the converse of first theorem. In first theorem, if chords are equal, then the angles subtended by them at the center are equal. Then the second theorem, if the angles subtended by two chords at the center are equal, then the chords are equal. So both the theorems are important, but we will learn the proof of first theorem. The proof of second theorem is no need to learn the proof of second theorem. Now we will do exercise 10.2. Exercise 10.2. Question number 1. Recall that two circles are congruent if they have the same radii. If two circles are congruent, congruent means the same shape and the same size. If they are congruent, then their radii will be same. Suppose the radius of first circle 3 cm, radius of second one 3 cm. Their radii are same, so we can say they are congruent. So, if two circles are congruent, that means their radii are equal. Then, question number 1. Prove that equal chords of a circle, prove that equal chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers. Prove that equal chords of congruent circles. Prove that equal chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers. That is question number 1. Prove that equal chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers. Then here given conditions. Equal chords of congruent circles. So the circles are congruent. That is given condition. So here we have two circles, they are congruent. That means their radii are equal. Then equal chords of congruent circles. And here the chords are equal. AB and CD are two chords, they are equal, that is given. And the circles are congruent. So the given conditions, circles are congruent, chords are equal. Then we have to prove they subtend equal angles at their centers. So the given condition, circles are congruent. Then one more condition is given, chords AB equal to CD. Circles are congruent, that is first condition. And the chords AB and CD are equal, that is second condition. Then we are going to prove two proof. We need to prove they subtend equal angles at their centers. So we have to prove angle AOB and angle CO'D are equal. To prove angle AOB equal to angle CO'D. So we have to prove that two equal chords subtend equal angles at their centers. So if we can prove they are congruent, if these two triangles are congruent, then the angles are equal. So proof. So here we can compare the two triangles, and side AO equal to CO' in triangle AOB and triangle CO'D. AO equal to CO'. Reason, radii of the congruent circles. Radii of the congruent circles. Then similarly we can write BO equal to DO'. BO equal to DO'. Same reason, radii of the congruent circles. If circles are congruent, then their radii are equal. Then AB equal to CD. Reason, chords are equal. That is given. Therefore, triangle AOB congruent to triangle CO dash D by SSS theorem. So they are congruent by SSS theorem, and if they are congruent, angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D. Reason CPCT. If they are equal, if that angles are equal, then we can say equal chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers. So here circles are congruent, chords are equal, therefore they subtend equal angles at their centers. So angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D. Then we have one more question. So that question is the converse of first one. So the second question, second one, prove that if chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers, then the chords are equal. So the second question is the converse of first one. Prove that if chords of congruent circles are congruent, chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers, then the angles subtended by the chords are equal, and we need to prove the chords are equal. So the second question, prove that if chords of congruent circles, if chords of congruent circles, if chords of congruent circles subtend equal angles at their centers, then the chords are equal. Then the chords are equal. So that is second question. Both the questions are different. First question, equal chords of congruent circles. So here chords are equal. Circles are congruent. In both the questions, circles are congruent. And here in first question, chords are equal. Prove that they subtend equal angles at their center. And in second question, circles are congruent. Then if chords of congruent circle, if the angles subtended by them are equal, if angles subtended by the chords at their centers are equal, then prove that the chords are equal. So here chords are equal, then we need to prove angles are equal. So here angles are equal, we need to prove chords are equal. So in both the cases we have congruent circles, and in first case chords are equal, then we will prove angles are equal. AB and CD are two chords. Then AOB and CO dash D are the angles subtended by that chords at the center. Then in first question, chords are equal. We need to prove angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D. But in second question, angle AOB and angle CO dash D are equal. That is given. The angles subtended by the chords are equal. Then here we need to prove the chords are equal. AB equal to CD. So the given condition in second question, circles are congruent. Circles are congruent. Then angle subtended by the chords at their centers are equal. Subtend equal angles at their centers. That means angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D, that is given. Then to prove, we have to prove the chords are equal, AB equal to CD. So the same way we can prove, we will prove that two triangles are congruent. In triangle AOB and triangle CO dash D. AO equal to CO dash. AO and CO dash equal radii of the same circle. Sorry, radii of congruent circles. Congruent circles. If circles are congruent, then their radii are equal. Then same way we can write BO equal to BO dash. BO equal to BO dash. Same reason, radii of congruent circles. Then angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D, that is given. Angle AOB equal to angle CO dash D, that is given. So side angle side equal to side angle side, therefore they are congruent. Therefore triangle AOB congruent to triangle CO dash D by SAS theorem. And if they are congruent, we can write AB equal to CD, reason CPCT. So here we got AB equal to CD. So here if angles subtended by the chords at their centers are equal, then the corresponding chords are equal. So we proved by SAS congruence theorem, AB, these two triangles are congruent, therefore AB and CD are equal. In previous question we proved that two triangles are congruent by SSS theorem, and here we proved they are congruent by SAS theorem. So here the chords are equal, AB equal to CD.